Hello there and welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with Ingani Titan, and in this episode we're going to take a closer look at the Edelweiss, the second of the Valkyria Chronicle tanks, and one that I just recently completed the Edelweiss Ace operation on. I found this a very fun tank, a very enjoyable tank to play, and I completed the Edelweiss Ace operation in fewer matches than it took me to do the Nameless Ace operation. About 25 matches, I think 38. The gun is perfectly good. It's performs very well. Doesn't really need APCR that much, or the premium ammunition, which I think is APCR. Mobility is excellent. The armour is adequate. I mean, it's a tier 8 medium tank. It is nothing exceptional and nothing really stands out, but it will bounce the odd shot. The biggest issue with it is the 8 degrees of gun depression on the gun. This is not a ridgeline fighter. You won't be peaky booming over ridge lines or any of that kind of stuff using gun depression on this tank, because it just doesn't have enough for that kind of carry on. But the 8 degrees of gun depression is something you can work with. It's not as difficult to work with as in the Nameless. It's still a relatively tall medium tank, but it's got excellent mobility, good firepower, and armour that's up to the job. So overall I found it to be a very enjoyable tank to play. And, it does decent amounts of damage. So, it's overall, like I said, it's a very enjoyable tank. It's definitely a one that I think is worth considering if you're thinking of buying a Japanese premium tank. I couldn't be as wholehearted about the Nameless. It's far more situational type tank. So we're here in El Aloof, and you're going to get to see the Edelweiss put through its paces. The only real problem I have with the Edelweiss, to be honest with you, is the name. Every time I take out an Edelweiss, or play an Edelweiss, or see an Edelweiss, the song starts running through my head, and then I start thinking about the Sound of Music and the Von Trapp family. However, that aside, it's an enjoyable tank, like I said, and as you can see here, the mobility is pretty decent. We're hitting 60 kilometers going down the hill, and we're practically at the top of the slope, but we're still doing 34-35 kilometers an hour, and it's only when I actually decide to stop the tank, and even from a standing start we get up to 24 kilometers an hour in a few meters. This is pretty good mobility for medium tanks. Now, there aren't too many enemies around, which is a problem, because I don't want to be fighting at the corner with this tank. The armour isn't up to the job, although the mobility for peekaboo and the gun handling is probably up to peekaboo, but I'm probably not up to peekaboo myself, not on the corners, with lots of tanks shooting at me. So I've come over to the second ridge line, and there still aren't any enemies. There is a Black Prince, however, in the distance, and you can see from a snapshot there that is that penetrated pretty much straight away, which is decent performance from a snapshot onto the central mass of Black Prince, because they are pretty well armoured tanks. Now, I didn't want two tanks shooting at me on top of that ridge, because when I'm in a position to shoot people on top of that ridge, my lower front plate's going to be exposed, and I want to stick as close to the corner here as possible. I'm hoping that KV-85 will come up to me. So we outnumbered the enemy here at the corner, so I think we should win this corner fight. So I'm going to be a little bit on the aggressive side, because if I play too cautiously, I just won't get any damage done. And it is only a KV-85. It's a tier 6 tank. I don't know much about the KV-85 actually. I never actually played one. At the time I played tier 6, the tier 6 Russian tank was the KV-1S, which was an amazingly fun tank. Massively overpowered because it's a huge alpha. 350, 390, 400 points of damage, something like that. You loaded this thing up, and it was a derp gun, and with a 15-second reload, which I managed to get down to about 11 seconds. It was great fun. However, that no longer exists. So here we put finish off the Tiger, finish off. Put a nice solid shot through the side of the Black Prince. Now he's gonna have the tank turned, so we don't get a decent shot on the side of him there. He had turned, but he's come around and we've bounced one off the front places. He is doing damage with the 17 pounder, but we finish him off. And we don't get the chance to shoot T-34, and now it's a no knee. Now this is a bit more problematical because the reticle is showing orange, which isn't means a much reduced chance of actually penetrating here. We are getting penetrations. I'm staying up close to him because if he turns the turret, it will minimise the amount of tank that he has to shoot at. And we just avoid a shot from a tank destroyer from over in the ridge lines. However, the enemy position has collapsed at this point. We have 4 kills. And I'm sticking to the low ground. There are a lot of tanks coming in on the high ground, and by the time I get up there I would be late to the party. And so far there's just this tank destroyer, so I was going to come up to engage with him, but he's been taken out. So we do a little death-defying stunt there on the cliff edge, and we're going to chase after the last tank. Now he is probably on the high ground there around G9, G0, or he's in the estuary. And I'm going to take the bet that he's on the high ground. So we're coming up now because we have to come up more or less. And there he is, spotted by the light tank. So makes M4. We'll have no trouble penetrating the front to him. And we finish him off. And that's it. 5 kills, 14 damaging ribbons, 5 assisted damage. Respectable result, very good silver earned. Second class mastery, steel wall, sniper. Over 2,800 damage, 900 assisted damage, and we blocked 940 damage, probably from the KV-85. Overall, I found it a very fun tank to play, very enjoyable. Whether it's worth buying is your decision, really, not mine. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it informative, and I'll catch you again soon.